I started up my very first Master Mode playthrough to see if it's possible to beat the game using only the equipment found in sky chests. The Great Plateau went the same as always. Oh no, and I can't grab that chest unless I get Cryonis. Oh, I can open it from here. There we go. It's just barely touching the ground enough. And it's a broadsword with crit? Okay, that was worth it. That was definitely worth it. But having never played Master Mode before, I was worried that the sky chests wouldn't have enough equipment for me, so I allowed myself to loot the Great Plateau to my liking. This ended up not really mattering as I replaced all of that equipment later on. The one thing that did come in handy was a starting bow and a handful of arrows. I thought I would use it to shoot down sky bases, but that turned out to be kinda messy, so instead I would go into bullet time to snipe whoever was guarding the chest. But let's back up real quick. The first step was finding these sky bases and seeing how many there are. Okay, so there is a map of the sky bases within the Great Plateau. Or actually, I can just use the interactive map. That shows me sky bases, I'm pretty sure. So it's basically narrowed down by where sky octorocks are, but that should be good enough. I was worried about wasting too many arrows, so one of my viewers suggested that I just quietly land behind the enemy and sneak strike. This strategy worked pretty well for a while, as I could just use low damage weapons that I was planning on replacing anyway. The issue was that I only successfully landed a sneak strike about half the time. A little sneaky weaky strike, huh? Didn't get it, that's fine. Fall. Okay. Panicked. However, this was also useful knowledge as it made me realize that I really just didn't need to kill the enemies up there. I could just fly in, grab the contents of the chest, and fast travel away before the enemies had a chance to execute me. NANI?! As I continued looting all of these chests, I started to realize that I was easily building up a deadly arsenal. I'm now feeling better about bows. I feel good about weapons, I feel good about shields. Armor, obviously, can't do anything about. Food isn't gonna matter because I'm pretty much one hit the whole time. I feel like now is a good time to mention that only a small percentage of you are subscribed to my channel, so if you haven't subbed yet, be sure to slap that subscribe button. There were still a lot of sky chests left to loot, but it didn't really seem necessary. The only things I was missing were arrows and health. Since arrows seemed to be scarce in sky chests, but I had found many gems, I decided to allow myself to sell the gems and buy a good stock of arrows. Surprised at how great the loot was, I decided not to take out the blights within their divine beasts. It was definitely doable, but way too easy to do it that way. So I thought I would test the might of my equipment by going straight to Hyrule Castle and doing a boss rush. In hindsight, this was a dumb decision. I had never fought the blights in Hyrule Castle, and I had never played Master Mode before. Yet I went in there thinking I would just beat all of the blights and Ganon without taking any damage, because without armor or additional health, I was one hit the entire time. I tried many times to defeat all of the bosses this way. Oh good, good. One of those tiny little pellets is enough to kill me. I made decent progress, and my runs got better and better as I devised my strategy for each boss. I tried to find the most resource-efficient way to defeat each blight, rationing my weapons and arrows to make sure I had enough gear left for Ganon. Sadly, I couldn't make it past Thunderblight. I knew Thunderblight was the hardest boss in the game, but I had no idea how much harder he was in Hyrule Castle and on Master Mode. During Phase 2, he electrifies his shield, making it impossible to break manually. And the perfect dodge timing on his Phase 2 teleport was incredibly difficult to get consistently. This is when I started going through the 5 stages of grief. Stage 1, Denial. You did tell me not to die this time. You did indeed tell me that, and I failed you, I'm sorry. You see, what happened was, he cheated. I wouldn't have died, but he decided it would be fun to cheat. So that's what happened. So if anything, blame him. Stage 2, Anger. Alright, and just immediately blow it. Why is the timing so hard on that rush? I feel like I don't know. You know, on Water Blight, his sword can be like 20 feet away from you and the Flurry Rush will trigger, but with Thunder Blight, you can be just half a tiny little millisecond off, and it's like, no, you didn't get it. You're actually supposed to wait for him to cut you 3 times and then jump. That's the timing. Stage 3, Bargaining. Maybe I should get durians, that'd be nice. But yeah, it kind of defeats the purpose of the challenge. I don't know. I'm gonna give it one more try, and then I may just buckle and get some durians. Because to be fair, the challenge using sky chests only was less about resources and more about, like, seeing if you could get good enough weapons and like high enough durability stuff to get through all the bosses. So maybe that'd be okay. Alright, I'm gonna go loot some sky chests. This is killing me. Let's look for some better stuff. I want some Royal Guard stuff. Or not Royal Guard, some normal Royal stuff. How is there not a mod for this, right? I don't... Save between blights, maybe? Okay, yeah, it seems like there's no mod around that. Or yeah, to save in between or anything like that. Stage 4. Depression. Just kill me. He was one hit away. Stage 5. Acceptance. I'm gonna be honest here. I'm tired of this. I finally beat Thunderblight, just to immediately panic and throw. Good idea to try to beat Ganon alone. Yeah, probably. But here's the thing. I want to be done with this series. I just want to be done. So, to achieve that, I just can't do this anymore. I mentally cannot handle it. I know, like, I feel bad about it, because there's so many better players than me that can do this just fine. There's so many speedrunners that do this just fine, but I'm a casual. Like, I don't want to spend 100 streams doing this, so, I turned on Infinite Hearts. I'm tired of it. I'm just finishing this series, so I can move on with my life and do something more fun on stream that doesn't make me hate myself. I started to feel really guilty about cheating and using Infinite Hearts to beat this challenge. Luckily, all of my guilt was absolved when I discovered that even with some of the highest durability weapons in the game, it is nearly impossible, if not completely impossible, to do a Hyrule Castle boss rush on Master Mode without running out of weapons. Ganon has an insane amount of health, and arrows are only really useful during his first phase. It may be possible if you parry his Guardian Laser perfectly every single time, but if you're imperfect like me, you'll quickly break all 4 of your shields. I think if you went to the Divine Beasts and fought the Blights separately, this would be very doable because you could just replace your broken weapons with more Sky Chest gear. If you went and collected a bunch of Korok Seeds to get a few more weapon and shield slots, this would also be very doable with only Sky Chest equipment. And finally, I think the setup I had is possibly doable, but it's very improbable. You would have to use primarily bow and arrows to defeat the 4 Blights so you could save up enough melee weapons for Ganon, which is difficult especially on Thunderblight. Then, once you reach Ganon, you would need to successfully perfect parry and dodge like 90% of his attacks to be able to stop him from regenning and take him out before all of your weapons break. So this is my challenge to you. If any of you out there think that you could defeat Ganon using only the equipment found in Sky Chests, some durian meals, and some purchased arrows, then give it a try. If you can defeat all 4 Divine Beasts and Ganon within Hyrule Castle without upgrading any inventory slots, then let me know. Tweet me the proof at NightPotato so everyone can see that you're better than me. Yes, I know my Twitter is super inactive, I'll use it eventually. Thanks for watching.